Hello, and welcome back to Chronically Joyful. I'm Kat Weston, and I am super excited that you are here with me today because today, my friends, I am celebrating 12 whole years with living with multiple sclerosis. Thank you. Thank you. I choose to celebrate on these MS anniversaries only for the fact that I have spent the last 12 years of my life, every single day that I have rolled out of bed, a hot mess express, proving to myself that life goes on after a very heavy chronic illness diagnosis. So hopefully that energy is what we're going to take this video off with and what all of you get out of this wonderful experience. Thank you for being here with me. I'm rocking my Legend of Zelda t-shirt to honor 12 years of being an absolute goober and being here today with all of you. So buckle up, fasten your seatbelts, grab something tasty, and sit on down because I'm going to be going over 12 lessons that I have learned in 12 years of living and managing a chronic illness. Let's go. Hot and heavy, just to start off real quick. Lesson number 1, rest does not equal lazy. Let me say it again softly for the people in the back with some ASMR. Needing to rest and recover and take time to just recalibrate basically and have a couch day does not mean that you are a lazy person. I did this exact thing yesterday. I called my mother and I FaceTimed my best friend Shayna for the first time in like 6 months. And it was a beautiful day outside, and candidly, I just didn't want to do it. I knew I needed rest. I felt really depleted, really exhausted, so I chose to not do anything except play some Banjo and Kazooie on my Nintendo Switch and sit on my couch and look at the beautiful day through my windows. And I'm here to tell you, rest does not equal lazy, friends. Take your rest and don't feel guilty about it. Lesson number 2. Ooh. Didn't you know this was a 3-dimensional movie? Lesson number 2. No two journeys are the same. I say it on this channel all the time. Chronic illness and actually being human in general is like snowflakes. There are no two of the same, including twins. You may look exactly like your twin, but you've got different genetic makeup still. So just a gentle reminder that no two journeys are exactly the same. Even if you are experiencing similar symptoms to someone else, I bet you they are experiencing that exact moment very differently in their own body. So just give a little grace. Yeah. And don't expect other people to know exactly what's going on with you at all times or to be able to relate to you tit for tat. So no two journeys are the same. Number 3 is hot and heavy, like mom's spaghetti. The world looks different for people who live with a chronic illness. And that is absolutely okay. Just because your family, your friends, the societal constructs that exist in this human life are telling you that your life needs to look a specific way, I'm here to tell you that it's fine that yours doesn't. Living with a chronic illness changes everything. Even for folks like me, who I feel very too blessed to be stressed in a sense, where my illness is very well managed most of the time. I am still suffering from optic neuritis and have been occasionally going blind in my left eye, but we are familiar with that and we are here for it. We accept it. And I experience things that Joe down the block doesn't experience, and that's completely fine because Joe down the block is dealing with his own shit, and so is everybody else. So folks living with chronic illnesses, life's not supposed to look the way it does for people who have a chronic illness or not. Like even friends of mine who have different illnesses or even MS, our journeys look completely different, and that is okay. Number 4. Food really is medicine, no matter which way you frame it, and that has highly influenced how I personally choose to live my life, where I also consider myself recovered from an ED in the sense where I suffered from, I would say, less extreme than other cases I've researched, but I had pretty intense orthorexia for many, many years of my life where nothing went into my body without me researching every single macro, micro, calorie, everything in between before doing so, including a tiny cube of cheese. It was wild, y'all, but it's one of these things where through trial and error experimentation and lots of research, it is true. Food really is medicine, and I'm going to loop alcohol into this too. Just choosing very carefully what I choose to put into this vessel makes a big difference, and I attribute to many successes of why I'm actually able to manage this illness as well as I am today. So food is fuel, food is medicine. Pay attention to how the things you are consuming feel in your body. 5. The people who truly love me the most are most often the people who forget that I'm sick. Let me say that louder for people in the back. And I will also link in the description below the video where I kind of talk about this and how challenging it can be to talk to people who love you and who are close to you when things are hard and people are responding to it in very different ways. It's completely normal. And it's taken a long time. 12 years is the total amount of time. I'm not going to blanket statement that. But it's taken a long time to fully accept that not everyone is going to take this news the same. Not everyone's going to process it the same. Not everyone's going to give me grace. Not everyone's going to even acknowledge that I have MS. And that's okay. The people closest to us are often the folks who are also suffering in silence. Not that you are responsible for carrying that. You're not. But just giving a little grace that the people who are closest to me are often the ones who either refuse to acknowledge or will forget that I have a chronic illness. Y'all, I was having a really good hair day, but Puddles and I just got back from a walk, and it was gorgeous weather this morning. I still don't have AC in my car. And I drove with the windows down. I felt so good. I was like, I'm going to walk my dog, and we're going to take our time. It's 92 degrees again, and the tiny clip is back. So thanks for not judging me. Cough, cough, Teresa. Lesson number 6, I think. Actually, let's make sure that's true. Yeah, it's 6. I can totally count and keep track of things happening in my life. Sometimes. Lesson number 6. Honestly, I'm grateful to be alive on this planet right now when there's so much groundbreaking research and evidence coming out. And frankly, for relapsing remitting multiple sclerosis, there are so many options for DMT therapies and medications available to folks like me that I'm very, very grateful to have been born at this time, to have such vast treatment options available to me to make my quality of life significantly better. So 2026, I am grateful to be here, and I'm grateful that 12 years ago today, I was sitting in a hospital room and people were giving me a pamphlet of options to choose from as a newly diagnosed patient. It made it significantly less scary until they told me I would be injecting, and I did for quite a long time. So I'm here to tell you it's not as scary as it feels in the moment, but we are very fortunate to have chronic illnesses at this time. Again, I can only speak to MS, relapsing remitting MS. I'm grateful to have so many varying treatment options available to me to make my life as high quality as it possibly can be. What a beautiful day. Lesson number 7. Having a chronic illness, in my case MS, doesn't mean that life has to stop. You just learn how to integrate it into the beautiful life that you've always been creating. And a helicopter flew over to confirm that point. But again, not to get hokey on all of you, life is what you make it. And having been diagnosed with this life-altering illness 12 years ago today did not stop my life at all. In fact, it actually helped me become a better person, and I'm proud of the person I have become and continue to become. So use it as life force and just keep on going. You guys are just getting a whole tour today because I can't figure out where I want to sit. Lesson number 8. While emotional dysregulation is a very real symptom and a very challenging one to actually overcome, there does come a point where it becomes a choice to overcome it, where excuses no longer hold ground. And I've definitely hit that point. Probably, I would say, close to a year and a half ago now, where I just learned how to better regulate my mood swings and emotional dysregulation. And I did have an instance of this very recently, within the last, I'm going to say 3 weeks, where I felt myself like just getting cranky and crabby and like really short tempered, and like was reminded of the version of me that existed in 2024. And instead of just like keeping it inside and pretending it wasn't happening, I talked about it. I talked about it to the people closest to me, and I was like, I'm having a hard time controlling my temper and like maintaining my sunny disposition that naturally comes with me. And I talked about it and chose in those days to kind of seclude a little bit, because I knew even when I was with like my friends, my colleagues, and people I'm normally very jovial with, I was having such a hard time snapping out of that headspace that I warned them, and I was like, if I get distant, it is because I cannot not be kind of a bitch in this moment, and wanted to be very transparent about that and not make people think I was avoiding them for any other reason than their own safety. But also just being self-aware enough to feel that coming on, as opposed to just riding that wave and being like, yeah, I have mood swings, so deal with it. Hell no. There comes a point on this journey where you actually become self-aware enough to be like, I wish I had handled that differently, and I don't want to make the same mistakes again. So mood swings and emotional dysregulation are real problems. You're not crazy and you're not broken for it. Just recognize it and do your best. And if you can't do anything about it, some isolation and like time with your pets. Puddles is over here looking at me. Time with your pets. Read a book. Stay home and just be kind to yourself and accept, like, yeah, I feel like a total turd right now. And that's okay. I will also link the video from last week in the description below as well, because a major theme of that one was lesson number 9. I had to look again. I should have numbered these. But everything in life comes down to a decision. And that one decision, because you will be faced with many different turning points and decisions along your life path, but every single one of those decisions leads down to one big choice. And that is, how do you choose to respond in that moment? Are you going to let that circumstance completely tear you down and get you totally off course for the things that you have been building and the wonderful life you are creating? Absolutely not. No, you're not. Are you going to take a knee for a little bit and be kind to yourself and heal a little bit? Sure. There is nothing wrong with that. In fact, I think that is a beautiful practice to have. However, when faced with really hard situations and circumstances, how do you choose to respond to that? And are you going to let it stop you and completely derail everything that you've worked so hard for? I don't think so, because folks that are watching this channel, all 35 of you, are here because you have a very similar mindset to myself, in that I may have derailed myself on this track, but this train don't stop. I'm going to recklessly drive this train back onto the track, and until I get there, yeah, I might take out some buildings and trees, and I'm so sorry to those buildings and trees. However, we move forward. I was trying to make this fun by location hopping, but for these last 3, I actually think this is the best place for me to be, because the breeze picked up and I'm still very sweaty from Puddles and I's walk, so here we are. So in these last 3 lessons, So I guess this is 9. I have no idea, guys. I completely derailed myself, and I'm so sorry that you've had to witness this. My cog fog in the last month has been abominable. It's excruciating. Literally mid-sentence, the way that we are chatting with one another right now, I completely lose my train of thought, and bless every person that's been in a close proximity to me, because it's been a journey. But our next lesson here. Having MS has made me a more selfless person because I have become significantly more interested in learning about other people. I know enough about myself at this point, and I know the trials and tribulations that I have faced and how I have responded to that, and I am living my own life. But all of the wonderful people that I have met on this 12-year journey and beyond, like my entire life, I find people so fascinating, and I think they're wonderful, and everyone has a story to tell, and those stories are worth sharing and hearing. And just, I am not perfect by any means, nobody is, but I work hard every day to be more selfless and actually listen more than I speak. And I don't think I would actually be here at this point without having been diagnosed with MS. It humbled me and it grounded me, and it's been a journey to get here where I currently am. But I do believe that MS has helped make me a better person overall. And now we're back inside at home base because my neighbors were outside and they started fighting. So I think it was a moment where this was meant to be. To bring it full circle for lesson number 11. People living with a visible or invisible illness are gaslit more than anyone else on this planet. And not even speaking about just my personal experience, my mom is gaslit all the time by the people closest to her. And like her fibromyalgia is real, and it's so hard to discern between when she's feeling sick from that or other things, but like she still deserves to be heard, and it is crazy to me. Not my colleagues, but I've seen other people around me at my job just like not believing that someone doesn't feel well, and just like gaslighting the things they say and like invalidating their symptoms. And it is awful. It is an awful thing to witness and experience myself. I have experienced this many times, the worst being from practitioners. I'm constantly told that the pain that I'm describing isn't real. It is numbness and tingling. It's not. I think that my pain often just feels like really intense growing pains, like that throbbing, like it feels like your arms are going to fall off. That's not the same as numbness and tingling. And I'm tired of hearing neurologists be like, that what you're describing isn't your MS. It's not related to that. Bullshit. Because I've met so many people who experience the same thing too, and it's just validating. So to validate you in this moment, people with or without a chronic illness, people with a chronic illness, visible or invisible, are gaslit more than any other human beings on this planet. I don't care. Mic drop. To close out the 12 lessons I have learned in the 12 years that I have lived with relapsing remitting multiple sclerosis, I leave all of you wonderful humans with lesson number 12. I am not less than because I have MS. Self-concept is the driving force behind every positive aspect that can exist in one's life. I firmly believe that. And it really, really is true that in order to appropriately love anyone else, you must unconditionally learn to love yourself first. And I struggled with this for a long time, and I still do. I'm not going to pretend that I'm fully healed and I'm telling you what it's like on the other side. I still have moments like this where, like, a recent example, I'm having savage optic neuritis. Not to the degree it was in 2024 when I went like full on googly eyed, But I'm having chronic headaches officially like for at least 20 days straight. And it's painful. My brain, like my sentences aren't coming out right. I'm not as sharp as a tack like I usually am. And I'm like partially blind, but I'm so used to it that I like barely even notice it, which I feel very blessed, but also kind of concerned about. But like I'm moving in social settings right now with people who don't know me very well, like on a personal scale at least. And I've been going to like work events with people that I'm like vaguely familiar with, and just like having the ability to show up fully as myself unapologetically at all times is a gift I would never want to give back. And I say this to all of you because you are not less than because you're living with a chronic illness. You are not less than because you made decisions that maybe your family disagrees with. You are not less than because you've made mistakes. You are perfectly imperfect, exactly the way that you are meant to be. And it's a constant practice and a constant journey. It is never done. You're never going to get to the other side of the rainbow road on the Mario Kart track. Just like, wow, I officially am not less than because I'm sick and everybody look at me. No, I actually have like a greater fear of being seen these days because of things that have happened to me. But I'm trying. And as long as we decide, we make the choice to continue to show up for ourselves as our best selves, we're unstoppable. So I would like to leave all of you on that note. Those are the 12 lessons that I have learned and hopefully started at least to integrate into my daily life that have truly fundamentally changed me as a person, me as the person I am becoming, my outlook on life, my mindset, my approach to everything is so vastly different because of the 12 years of living with MS. And it sounds crazy to admit, but I wouldn't trade it. I wouldn't trade the things I've learned for anything. She says this lightly because if somebody came up to me tomorrow and was like, hey, if you take this pill, it'll automatically cure your MS, and it's totally been tested and proven, I'd be like, like instantly. Also, because I've got these 12 years under my belt, I'm like, okay, I'm done learning lessons, guys. Let's move forward. No, we are never done. And the day that you think that you're done growing is the day that you fall into a little pit of depression and you're like, man, what happened? Because I've been there too. And my goal now is to never stop growing and chasing dreams and convincing myself that I'm going to fix this. And when I do, I'm going to create that magic pill and I'm going to give it to all of you for free and everybody else that I have touched on this beautiful journey over the last 12 years. So with that, as Puddles finally starts to eat her food next to me, everybody snaps for Puds. Thank you so much for being here with me on this journey now. And thank you so much to every person that has been on this journey with me at any point over the last 12 years. The light in me sees the light in all of you. I'm so grateful to be here and so excited about the things that I'm working on and cannot wait to share them with you. And cheers to 12 more years. And I think I'm just going to keep 12. It feels like a good number to just be like, and then 12 more years. All the years. But I love you all so much. Thank you for being here with me today. Have the best of Tuesdays because I wanted to post this on the day that was actually my MS anniversary. So for all of you out there who may be celebrating chronic illness anniversaries and you are proud of yourself as you should be, congratulations. I'm so happy that you're here, and cheers to many more years around the sun. Thanks, everybody. Are you equally as jazzed as I am that it's been 12 years of living with MS? You seem jazzed. I mean, I'm confused about the current circumstances, but I think she's jazzed, guys. She's jazzed, and you can see her healing little Frankenstein spot. She's recovering nicely, and we are grateful for that. Yes. Thank you, Puddles. Thank you for your service. We love you.